Gond, also known as the Wonder Bringer and the Holy Maker of all things, the god of artifice, craft and construction. He is revered by blacksmiths, woodworkers, engineers and inventors. The centre of Gond's worship on the Sword Coast lies in Baldur's Gate, where the faithful have erected two huge structures in honour of the Wonderbringer, a temple called the High House of Wonders and a museum of craft and design called the Hall of Wonders. We can visit both of these structures in the original Baldur's Gate game. So why do I think that some of his priesthood might be linked to the Absolute? In Priestess Gut's quarters within the Goblin Camp, we can find a journal entitled Priestess Journal. We can see that the journal is very old, that it is described as having aged pages. The following is written inside. Thus the interlocking circles will bring the full moons to match the stars, while casting darkness where it belongs at the bottom. That chasm to the Underdark will stay sealed. I confess the design is not foolproof to outsiders, but I had to sacrifice complexity for material resistance. But I've always wondered why Selûne took me from the Hall of Wonders to serve at this temple as a priestess. Perhaps this was the reason. So this person has been taken from the Hall of Wonders in Baldur's Gate, which is a museum that displayed many holy relics of Gond. In Murder in Baldur's Gate, we can see that the Hall of Wonders has a very similar secret route to an underground area, as the Goblin Camp does. Because the Gondsmen are given to ostentatious displays of wealth, rumours persist of a treasure vault hidden beneath the temple and guarded by mechanical monstrosities. The rumours are mostly true. Behind the grand altar in the High House of Wonders is a complex pressure plate system that opens a secret passageway beneath the temple. We can also see this in Descent into Avernus. Beneath the grand altar in the Hall of Wonders is a complex pressure plate system that opens a secret passageway leading beneath the temple. Was this person initially brought to the Temple of Selûne to create this similar mechanism to guard the Night Song that is allegedly beneath the temple? In Faith and Avatars 1996, we can see that priests of Gond are much in demand as builders, especially of vaulted and buttressed temples dedicated to other gods. Because of these temple engineering and construction contracts, the faith of Gond is growing in wealth and influence, but also in foes. Now, something has gone wrong with this Selûnite sect, as in a Harper's Notebook which we can find here, the following is written. A tattered collection of reports held together with a moon and harp seal, there is frequent mention of sacrilegious activity among a local Selûnite sect. In Ilantoth's lair under the Blighted Village, we can find another book written by the High Artificer Thora Bryn. The High Artificer is the most holy servant of Gond and the head of the church. This book is in a lair that seems abandoned, and all of the journals seem to date it last being in use in around 1371 DR. Thora Bryn has a fascination with the Netherese and seems disgruntled that the High House of Wonders would not publish her work outside the Gondian journals. She talks of how the Netherese were twisted by Shah and whether the High House will sanction her studies of it or not. However, it seems like she will study the very flame of creation anyway, even should the fires consume us. Gond worshippers can be rather unscrupulous when it comes to their quest to invent more items and discover more knowledge. We know that the Illithids have new technology with tadpoles influenced by Netherese magic, and we also know that a Gondian priest assisted a Selûnite sect that was apparently practicing sacrilegious activity before it was obviously taken over by the goblins. Now, there is something likely going on in Baldur's Gate with regards to nobles and Patriarch families potentially being manipulated by the Absolute. We know that Ulder Ravengard has been kidnapped by the cult, and Belene Stelmane, one of the dukes, is being manipulated by a mind flayer, as seen in Descent into Avernus. Finally, a big trading family, like the Jarzos, have been affected by Dead 3 cultists, as we can see in Descent into Avernus that one of the Jarzos was kidnapped. In Descent into Avernus, it says the following. High-ranking members of Gond's clergy oversee a number of secret projects sponsored by wealthy Patriarchs or the Flaming Fist. It goes on to say, while there are certainly more industrious and academic cities along the Sword Coast, in few other places could Gond's faithful have access to more and rarer resources with less oversight. The city cares more about the cleric's innovations than the morality of those creations or how they came into being. Rumours claim that the High House of Wonders maintains a secret testing facility in or just outside the city. Whilst this certainly doesn't admonish Gond or the whole clergy, it does raise questions as to what some of its clergy might be doing, or who they might be assisting or might have assisted in the past.
We will be $100 billion richer.
The final point I'd like to make is that one of the Grand Dukes of Baldur's Gate in 1479 DR was a high artificer of Gond called Torlin Silvershield. He was the highest ranking member of Gond's clergy within the city, but became a Chosen of Baal in 1482 DR. Although the adventure Murder in Baldur's Gate gives the choice of 3 potential Chosen of Baal, Torlin is shown to be the canonical one in an adventure called Dead in Thay, after it is revealed that his corpse was captured by the Red Wizards and he was turned into a wight. Perhaps Baal would have been able to acquire a great deal of information from Torlin before his death, and it would link up nicely to other Gondian links in Baldur's Gate 3. Could it just be a coincidence that in a game that seems very focused on the Netherese and a potential plot revolving around Shar and Selûne, that we have a Gond priest originally working at a sacrilegious Selûnite sect and a high artificer that was fascinated by Netherese culture, willing to betray her own clergy and publish things outside the Gondian circle? We can find a lot of information about Gond in Faiths and Avatars 1996 and Faiths and Pantheons 2002. Gond is a neutral deity, and it seems like many of his followers are more interested in what they can create over the moral implications of what that item might be used for. Because of this, members of his clergy can be found in good and evil strongholds. Could some of his followers have had something to do with the formation of the Cult of the Absolute? And are some still involved? Anyway, thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed this video then do please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!